Imagine this. You close your eyes for just a moment, and when you open them again, you're no longer in the 21st century. There's no phone in your pocket, no freshly pressed clothes, no warm bed to crawl back into. All you have are your bare feet, the vast blue sky above, and the cold dirt beneath you. The calendar now says 12,000 BC. You're in the Stone Age. Your gut twists with confusion as you ask yourself, where am I? You wonder if it's a dream or maybe a nightmare, but then it hits you. This is real, and you're in another time. Now ask yourself, with nothing but your mind to rely on, could you actually survive? This isn't a movie. This is a story where a modern human gets thrown back into a primitive world. Time is flowing backward, but your needs remain the same. You still need shelter, food, tools, protection. Nothing looks familiar. What can you eat? Where should you hide? Are those sounds in the distance coming from a predator or just the wind? Every unfamiliar moment is a step closer to danger. Some of you might be thinking, I'll make a fire, build a hut from branches, eat wild berries, but nature doesn't care about your optimism. One wrong step, one wrong bite, one wrong decision could end it all. The Stone Age doesn't forgive mistakes, it makes you pay in blood. When you open your eyes, you expect calm, but instead a strange chill wraps around you. The wilderness sees you now. Animals are watching. You're a visitor here, but this world doesn't welcome guests. You don't know the way home. Your feet are bare. Every sharp rock is a threat. The fruits look beautiful, but which ones are poison? You might not live to see the sunset. That pond water could slowly kill you. Nature constantly tests your will to survive. The sun goes down, and night sets in. The air grows cold quickly. You're wearing nothing but a strip of animal hide. There are no matches, no lighters, no fire, and without fire, there's no warmth. Your body starts to shiver in minutes. Fingers go numb, your teeth chatter uncontrollably. Hypothermia creeps in like a quiet assassin. Making it through the first night isn't just survival, it's war. When the light disappears, nothing stands between you and the darkness. All you can think is, will I make it until morning? Hunger starts to gnaw at your soul. You haven't eaten all day. In this world, nothing is certain. Hunger clouds your judgment, blurs your thoughts. It won't stop until you feed it. Run out of energy, and you'll pass out easy prey for anything hunting in the dark. In your time, water came from the tap and food from the store. Here, in the Stone Age, those habits are useless. Nature doesn't offer comfort, only tests, and those tests require logic, skill, and instinct. Chase comfort, and it'll kill you. People of the Stone Age weren't smarter than you, but they were more aware, more courageous, more in tune with the world around them. Sunrise meant survival, nightfall meant danger, and every hunt was life or death. Their knowledge lived not in books but in their bones and eyes. To survive was to challenge the wild with your instincts. This isn't a history lesson. This is a wake-up call, a reminder of what survival truly means, to leave behind comfort and face the raw power of nature. The sun rises, the fog lifts. This isn't just a new day. It's the beginning of a brutal test. So, modern human, are you ready for it? If you were suddenly dropped into the Stone Age, what would you do first? Would you light a fire or find a cave? Tell us in the comments. We want to hear your instincts. You open your eyes. The sun has risen, and a soft golden light touches the ground. But it doesn't comfort you. It doesn't mean safety. It only signals that the fight for survival has begun again. While it may look like a fresh start, in the Stone Age, every day is a restart from zero, from finding food, to finding shelter, to figuring out what to wear. Nothing carries over. Nothing is guaranteed. Your eyes begin scanning the surroundings more carefully now, but what you see isn't just trees. Every leaf, every rock, every animal holds a mystery. In the modern world, you walked past these things without a second thought, but here, they decide whether you live or die. That's why you need to be sharp, because in this world, awareness is everything. Without it, forget surviving for an hour, you might not even make it through the next minute. Right now, you're faced with countless problems, but one stands above the rest. Water. Thirst comes before hunger. Your body can survive days without food, but without water, it begins shutting down fast. That makes your first mission clear. Find water. And just as you think that, you spot a small pond. But can you trust it? Is it clean or crawling with invisible bacteria? This is your first real decision, one that could shape every next step or instantly end your chances. You need to drink, but it's a gamble. In the modern world, we had labs, filters, test kits. Here, all you have are instincts you never had to sharpen. If you choose wrong, you could be poisoned, diarrhea, weakness, dizziness, and once your body starts to fail, you're no longer a survivor, you're prey. Still, you push on. The sun burns your back, your bare feet scream. In pain with every step, your own shadow follows you, and part of you wishes you could just become that. Invisible, because in this land, being seen is being hunted. Visibility means vulnerability. And the moment you're noticed, you're no longer an observer, you're the target. Suddenly, a sound from the trees stops you in your tracks. It's not a bird. It's not the wind. It's heavier, deliberate. It could be a predator or maybe another human, maybe something lurking and waiting for its moment. The Stone Age wasn't just filled with animals, it was filled with people too. And back then, every stranger was a possible threat. Food, water, shelter, everything was limited. That scarcity made people aggressive, territorial, quick to judge, quick to fight. You're not alone out here, but don't let that comfort you. It should make you more alert. Anyone you meet might see you not as a friend, but as competition. There are no courts here, no law, no diplomacy. Justice is made of stone, solved with fists or fire. You talk with your posture, not your words. You take what you can, or you lose what you need. Remember, you're not in the modern world anymore. This is a place where survival means being cautious, brave, and absolutely present. You keep walking, and suddenly, you see something strange on the ground, a half-rotten fruit. Your stomach roars, begging you to eat it. But is it worth the risk? Is it poisonous? You pause, knowing this hunger isn't just physical, it's emotional, psychological. It clouds your judgment, makes you reckless. The wrong bite could end it all. Every decision matters. Even something as small as a fruit could be life or death. Do you risk it or walk away still hungry? Hunger isn't just about your belly, it eats away at your spirit too. And that's dangerous, because it leads to desperation, and desperation leads to mistakes. You realize then, you're lonely. Not just physically, but spiritually. A whisper in your head says, I wish someone was here. Humans are social beings. Loneliness gnaws at you like the cold. That's why ancient people lived in groups. Being alone means being exposed. One pair of eyes can't see every threat. One pair of ears can't hear every rustle. But you're alone now, and that makes you vulnerable. It hits hardest when you notice the sun moving through the sky. Time is passing and you're still by yourself. You need someone. You need a tribe. As the shadows grow longer, another urgent issue creeps in. Shelter. You have to find cover before nightfall, or once again you'll be naked against the elements. You walk faster this time, more deliberately. You look for shaded areas. Feel the slope of the land beneath your feet. Is the ground soft? Are there insects? Could animals sneak in while you sleep? You know nothing, but you're learning. You're starting to listen to your instincts, because now it's either your logic or your gut that will save you. You noticed a small cave under a rock. It might be enough for the night, but there's a problem. The entrance is narrow. If you crawl in, can you get back out? Is anything else already living in there? A snake, a wolf, another desperate human. Again, you're faced with a choice. One right decision could keep you alive. One wrong move, and it's over. In this age, there are no second chances. Every decision has consequences. Every move is a risk. Because this isn't the 21st century. This is the Stone Age. You've made it to midday, but your body is breaking down. Exhausted, sore, you feel like collapsing. Because surviving here isn't just about physical strength, it's about mental endurance. If your mind fails, your body follows. Your modern brain, raised on convenience, is spiraling with, what do I do now? Panic. And that panic is your worst enemy. Out here, staying calm is your only real weapon. Think about it, just a few hours in, and you're already physically drained, mentally worn, emotionally shaken. Could you really survive a full 24 hours? If you were here right now, what would be your first move? Water, food, or shelter? Let us know in the comments, because who knows, maybe one day you'll need to remember this. There are only a few hours left until sunset. The sky is slowly turning orange. Birds are retreating into their nests, and everything begins to fall silent. But this silence doesn't bring peace. It's a warning, a signal that cold darkness is on its way. You survive the morning, but don't fool yourself. That's not victory. That's just the first round. Like a game that gets harder with every level, the true battle begins now. Either you keep pushing and earn survival step by step, or you collapse in the next round and lose everything. Your body is exhausted, your mind is scattered, but nature, that doesn't care about tiredness, there's no time to rest. In the wild, stopping means dying. You have to keep moving, scanning the land, trying to find a place to hide before the sun disappears. You walk toward the rocks, searching for a cave, but not every cave offers safety. You don't know what's inside. Maybe a snake, maybe a bear, maybe something worse, even other people. Because in the Stone Age, being alone wasn't always the most dangerous thing. Sometimes being found was worse. Still, isolation isn't freedom unless you know what you're doing. Without experience, solitude can become your grave. And just as that thought hits you, you hear something, a voice. Your heart rate spikes, panic and hope clashing in your chest. Is it another human? Maybe someone just like you, lost and scared. Or is it someone who sees you as competition? Someone willing to take what little you have? You peek through the trees and see them. Two men holding sharp wooden spears, walking cautiously toward you. Their eyes are locked on you, filled with suspicion, fear, and curiosity. You freeze. You have no clothes, no weapons, no tribe. You're not a threat, but that doesn't mean they won't see you as prey. You're stunned, your mind racing. What do you say? What can you say? You don't speak their language. All you can do is raise your hands, try to show you're not here to fight. It's not words that matter here, it's body language. Every glance, every movement, every breath is part of a silent negotiation. One wrong step, and it's over. But one of them tilts his head and motions for you to leave, pointing toward the shadows. They won't kill you, but they won't welcome you either, and that alone, the chance to walk away alive, is a gift. You pass by them slowly, your heart pounding louder than any sound in the forest, and it finally sinks in. Surviving the Stone Age isn't just about braving the wilderness. It's about understanding people, reading fear, showing respect, and staying calm. A little later, you come across a rocky outcrop. It's dry underneath, narrow enough to feel hidden. It might just work for the night. You gather some dry branches, stack them near the entrance, and curl up inside. The cold starts creeping in again, but this time you're ready. You tuck your limbs in close, reduce movement, and let your body conserve heat. Somehow, you've started adapting. Slowly, you feel your body sinking with the land. It's not perfect, but it's enough to survive another night. Still, hunger bites at you. You're weak, but you're alive. The night isn't over yet, but if you can make it through, the next sunrise means another chance. One edible root, one small animal, and your survival window stretches another 24 hours. And here's where nature teaches its biggest lesson. Survival isn't just about muscle or speed, it's about flexibility, common sense, observation, and timing. Nature doesn't forgive arrogance. It punishes comfort seekers, but it sometimes rewards the ones who stay humble, who adapt, who learn. Today stripped everything from you, your comfort, your safety, your sense of control, but in return it gave you something precious. It reconnected you to your instincts. It pulled you out of the fog of modernity and forced you to listen to the earth. Now, as you close your eyes again, maybe you dream of cool air conditioning or the soft seat of a coffee shop. But here's the truth. If you survive this night, you're no longer just a modern human. You're someone who's learned what it means to face raw nature and live. You've become a student of the wild. So now, let me ask you, if you had to live in this age, who would you become? A hunter, a wanderer, a scout? Tell us in the comments. The Stone Age may be behind us, but its questions still matter. Time is slipping fast and night has fallen. The sky has turned into a deep black blanket draped over the earth. Stars are scattered above you, sparkling in silence, but you don't look up. You're too on edge, too alert. Every crack of a branch, every gust of wind feels like a threat. You've taken shelter beneath a rocky overhang, exhausted, starving, alone. But despite all that, you're still alive, and not because it was easy, but because you pushed. Because your body and mind are slowly starting to adapt. In the modern world, even a simple street corner buzzes with lights and sound and people. But out here, darkness is truly dark. Silence is truly silent. And in that silence, you face not only the dangers around you, but the fears inside you. Questions creep in, whispering through your thoughts. Will I make it back? Will I ever return home? But you know the answer. There is no going back. This is your reality now. This is the Stone Age. And in this world, instead of daydreaming about what ifs, the smart move is to prepare for the next step. Here, all the rules you knew don't matter anymore. There's no point in resumes or emails or looking presentable. There's no success or failure the way you once knew them. Out here, survival is the only game. The only thing that counts is instinct, resilience, the ability to read the world around you and act without hesitation. Inside your head, two voices argue, one saying give up, the other whispering hold on, and somewhere in that battle, you realize you're not just trying to stay alive. You're trying to understand nature, yourself, humanity. Everything feels more raw, more real. Relationships, fear, hunger, hope, they aren't filtered or softened here. They come at you unedited. Then, the howl of a wild animal slices through the silence. You don't know how far it is, but you don't panic. You've met fear already today. You've walked with it, wrestled it, learned its rhythm. And that's the truth modern life had buried. We weren't supposed to run from fear. We were meant to understand it. As dawn approaches, the air starts to warm. Your eyes flutter open, half asleep, half awake, and for a moment, your breathing syncs with the wind, your heartbeat with the rustling leaves. You're not an outsider anymore. You've become part of this world. When the first rays of light break through the cracks in the rocks, you know you've made it. This wasn't just a day. This was a reckoning, a test. You've faced your limits, stared into the harsh eyes of nature, and come out still breathing. So now ask yourself, how much have you forgotten while living in comfort? Your instincts, your awareness, your patience, your courage, they were always inside you. You just needed to remember. And now, as you step back into the modern world, you realize you're not the same person anymore. The version of you who feared discomfort, who craved convenience, who trusted routine more than instinct, that version stayed behind under that cold rock. The person who walks forward now has a new kind of awareness, a survivor's awareness. So if one day you lose everything, remember this moment, because survival isn't just a skill for the wild, it's an art, one you'll need in the city, in life, in everything. Now let me ask you one last question. Do you really think the modern human could face nature and survive? Share your thoughts in the comments, because maybe, just maybe, one day, we won't have a choice.